I made a video about the things I don't like about my Tundra. Well, these are the things that I do like about my Tundra. To me, this is the most beautiful truck on the market right now. Tundras seem to have a perfect sport and luxury mix, where other vehicles seem like they're either overly luxurious and you don't want to get a scratch on them, or they're overly masculine, like you're trying to compensate for something. And I thought the Tundra hit the ball out of the park on this one. So the things I really love about this truck are the rear view mirror. I love how it flips back and forth between the digital view and the standard view. I use that quite often, actually. Whenever my view's obstructed, I have too much stuff in the truck bed. I've really found that to be useful. I don't know if you will too. I found that things are only gimmicky if you don't use them. So I've used that, don't find it to be gimmicky. The technology in this truck is what really drove me to it. Infotainment center, and then all the technology within it. Like, for instance, this view button gives you all the different views of the truck. You can pause this anywhere sometimes when I'm sitting in my truck, and I like to have a secure feeling of my surroundings. I will sit there with it like this, monitoring my security, I guess, around me where I can't see. And let's see, when you put it in drive,
have you ever watched The Exorcist?
You get these other view options, which I've put my truck in a setting so that whenever I'm at a slow crawl or driving through, let's say, a parking lot trying to find a parking space, this will typically pop up for me. I changed that setting. Pretty much I went into auto so that every time I'd go to slow down, this pops up. I really like it. It helps me see how I'm parking. I like to hug the curb so that people who aren't as considerate don't ding my door. It gives them a little extra space. I get right up on the curbs. This is so accurate. I don't need to use my mirrors. I mean, I can see all the way around the truck. These lines are very accurate with where your truck is at, guiding your truck. So it's not really an issue for me. When I pull into spaces, I can check and see if there's anything in the way that I'm going to run something over. I really like it. So another thing I really like is the Android Auto. I love that it has all the connected apps and it connects wirelessly. I found it to be a little quirky sometimes with things like if I'm listening to my favorite podcast, or I'm listening to a song on Amazon. If I say I'm playing a YouTube video while I'm streaming something off of those, and I'm watching a YouTube video, I can't control the volume of that video. It'll tell me, volume not controlled or something along those lines. So I'll have to pause the video, play the podcast, turn the podcast up, then play the video. It's a little weird. And there's no turning the Android Auto off. Like, it controls my phone. It'll turn my phone on whether I disable the Wi-Fi or the Bluetooth. It'll turn those things back on and take back over my phone. So that's a little odd, but the features you get are pretty awesome. I love having the maps. I hated the wire, like having the wire connected. It seemed like every vehicle that I've ever had, including the 2020 Highlander, the wire would always say like connected, disconnected, connected, disconnected. It was just real finicky, and try multiple wires. It's always seemed to be the case. It's the case with my wife's current car. So connecting wireless has been much more seamless. I'm just going to narrate this next part as you watch me drive. I'm using the lane keep assist and radio cruise control to take me around a bend. It's really good for things like subtle turns, not so much for sharp turns. It'll work really well if you're in slow moving traffic and bring you to a full and complete stop, as long as everybody's stopping gradually. Any sudden stops, you're going to have to stop on your own. It'll prompt you with an alert. Overall, this is another great example of how Toyota technology is excelling. As a first-time Toyota Tundra owner, I find the back glass an awesome feature. I know that it's not new to the 2022, but man, I love that feature. It's something my F-150 didn't have. I don't know why other trucks don't have it. It seems extremely handy. I've already stuck longer pieces of wood through it to give myself extra clearance, so I find it functional as well. The armrest has to be one of my favorite features about this truck. It's so simple, and you might not think it's such a big deal, but having this little armrest, and I know lots of people have already mentioned this before, but having just this little soft, flat, horizontal pad here is genius. So this might be something small, because I know a lot of vehicles are incorporating this also, but I figured I'd talk about it because I don't know if everybody knows this or not, but when you lock the vehicle, it's pretty nice, but when you go to unlock the vehicle, one time for your door, hold it for the other door.